SoFi just had one of the best quarters in its history, and the stock dropped 10% the morning the results actually came out. We got record revenue, record loan originations, net income more than doubled year over year. The CEO literally used the word record so many times in the earnings call that it actually became a running theme of the entire thing. And the market sold SoFi off anyway, which tells you something really important, not about SoFi as a company, but about how investor expectations work when sentiment is already fragile. SoFi didn't fail, it just didn't surprise enough. And right now, for a stock that's been carrying the muddy waters overhang all year, not a big enough positive surprise still gets punished like it did. And here's where I'm standing with this and what I'm doing with my personal SoFi position. So let's walk through the Q1 2026 numbers clearly because they deserve to be seen clearly, okay? Revenue came in at 1.1 billion, up 43% from the same quarter a year ago. Net income at 166 million, more than doubled from 71 million posted in Q1 2025. Record loan originations reached $12.2 billion, up 68% year over year. Personal loans were up 51%, student loans up 119%, and home loans up 137%. It was the company's 18th consecutive quarter of the Rule of 40, a combined score of 72 reflecting 41% revenue growth and 31% EBITDA margins. Those are not the numbers of a company in trouble, okay? They're the numbers of a company executing correctly. Three things drove the sell-off. The Galileo technology platform segment posted revenue of just 75 million after losing a very large customer, Chime, at year end. EPS came in at 12 cents, it came in exactly in line with consensus, ending a streak of headline beats, and management reaffirmed rather than raised full year guidance. The stock closed at 1836 the day before earnings and dropped roughly 9 to 10% in pre-market trading the morning of April 29th, with a year-to-date return of roughly negative 41%. The stock has been a brutal hold for anyone who bought in early 2026. Here's the framework though I apply to a situation like this. When a stock sells off on a strong earnings report, you have to ask whether the market is seeing something real that the headlines aren't capturing, or whether it's a sentiment-driven overreaction to 1 week segment in an otherwise strong quarter. Look, the Galileo revenue decline is the main argument for the bears, right? The technology platform segment fell 27% to 75 million, and the decline is attributed to a single large customer transition, Chime exiting the platform before the end of 2025. If Galileo is SoFi's high margin growth engine and it's, contracting while the company is lending more aggressively, then critics have a point about the mix of growth. But here's the context that matters. Noto confirmed 13 new clients began generating platform revenue in Q1 that were not on the platform a year ago, and a new partnership with a top 3 US telecom brand is set to launch in 2026. The platform isn't shrinking structurally. It lost one very large client and is rebuilding. That's a different story from what the sell-off is actually implying here. Look, the muddy waters overhang from March also never really got formally resolved. SoFi publicly disputed the allegations, calling them factually inaccurate and misleading, and said it may pursue legal action. But an unchanged guidance print in the environment wasn't enough reassurance for a market that really wanted to see more. Let's talk about this earnings pattern we're seeing, right? Because SoFi has now established a very clear pattern with its earning releases, okay? The company delivers legitimate growth. The market focuses on the one thing that didn't deliver a positive surprise, sells the stock, and then often weeks later, the selling stabilizes and the stock starts to recover. We saw this in Q4 2025. Prior quarters showed accelerating profitability with a Q4 2025 net revenue at $1 billion and net income of 174 million. The stock moved around the report. Then it recovered ahead of Q1. Then Q1 came in strong, got sold off again, and here we are again. The pattern is worth understanding because it changes how you manage options positions around earnings. If the stock is likely to drop on even a good earnings print because the market is specifically looking for guidance raises and headline beats that exceed consensus, selling calls before earnings and getting assigned at elevated implied volatility is predictable. Not really a surprise. Let's talk about their business momentum underneath all this noise though. What I really care about as someone holding shares is whether the actual business is growing in a durable way. And on that question, Q1 2026 gives us some clear answers. The membership base expanded to 14.7 million, up 35% from the prior year. Total products grew 39% to 22.1 million, with 43% of new products coming from existing members. That cross-sell statistic is the most important number in the report. It means existing members are choosing SoFi for more financial decisions, not just sticking with one product that they signed up for. That's the everything financial app strategy actually working, okay? The SoFi Plus subscription relaunch in April saw some strong uptake, primarily among existing members who subsequently took out an additional product after signing up. And that's recurring revenue plus cross-product adoption in literally one event. The lending segment is growing fast as well. The consumer base, as Noto described it, remains for the most part very healthy. Let's talk about our covered call situations though, okay? Because here's where I'm with my specific position. I've been signed on puts at a cost basis above current market price. Still, after the Q1 earnings drop, the stock is trading around 1581 to 1610. The average analyst price target sits around 22, representing some meaningful upside from the current levels, but the stock is trading well below that target, down 41% year to date. My current cover call approach is this. I'm selling calls with expirations 30 to 45 days out when I can at strikes that represent an exit I'd be comfortable with getting my cost basis, right? I'm not selling calls at 16, 17 to squeeze out the premium. That would lock in a loss if the stock recovers here. I'm targeting strikes, 20 plus when I can, that represent meaningful premium without sacrificing recovery potential or a clean exit if the stock really gets back there, right? Key resistance to watch is 1750 and key support is 15. Those are the levels that determine whether the post-earnings low holds or if there's another leg down. My covered call strikes are calibrated around that range as best I can. The Q1 earnings report confirmed what I believed about the underlying business though. So look, SoFi is genuinely growing, okay? There's no question. Revenue, loans, members, products, profitability, all moving in the right direction at the pace that most financial companies would envy, okay? What the report also confirmed is that the market is holding SoFi to a higher standard than those results alone can satisfy. 1 week segment, Galileo, and a guidance reaffirmation rather than a raise, and a stock that already is under pressure from short seller report in March was enough to produce another significant sell-off, even on a solid beat. For an option seller in my position, that dynamic is actually manageable. The elevated IV that exists around SoFi's earnings events is exactly what makes covered call premiums a lot more meaningful. The stock's volatility, which has been frustrating for straight holders, is the premium environment that generates income for covered call or cash secured put sellers dollar cost averaging. Look, I'm not making money on price appreciation right now. I'm making money on the premium collected cycle by cycle. We're trying to reduce my effective cost basis while the business builds towards the point where the stock price eventually catches up with the actual fundamentals. So I got some questions for you guys in the comments. As always, some great conversations down there. Number one, are you holding SoFi through the post-earnings period? And if so, are you running covered calls or holding the position or lowering your cost basis with cash secured puts? Number two, the Galileo platform revenue decline. Do you see it as a temporary, customer transition or a structural concern? I'm genuinely curious where you land on that one. And if you want to take your education a step further, make sure to attend the Ark Options Strategy. I'll leave the link down below. Be the first one. At the end of that training, you get some incredible free gifts. You get my 15 favorite stocks, all under $30. I love running the wheel strategy on. You got my 2 income calculators, as well as my full trade log template. Just click that first link in the description of today's video, guys. As always, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.